And we're back to another episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition. I'm your host, the RPG guy. And it's time. It's time to bring it to Vinsfield, you know. It's time to lay the smack down. So let's go ahead and we'll fly to Silgi on the Valeria Chateau, because we really don't have any better options for that. And what we're doing is we've just passed Silgi. We want to head about southeast and look for this thing. There it is right there. You can see him right about there. So if you're wondering where it is, if you see that fat island up there, you pretty much we're slightly west of that island, and we just went south of it. And that's really where the Hendile Gazeau is. Not hard to find, though. I know some people have issues trying to locate it for whatever reason. I understand where that frustration comes from. The game kind of hides it because of the curvature of the Earth, or the planet, rather. So, be it as it may. Some people struggle with it. Alright. The 5 of us are good only when all 5 of us are together. You think? It'll be all 5 of us together, yeah. We won't overdo it. If we need to, we can always return to the Valeria Chateau from here. Now, there's only, I think, 2 enemy types here, so there's not much to really dread. One of them is an Odessa man, because they just always appear in these places. And I don't remember what the second enemy type is, unfortunately, but they give you the same amount of XP and all that good stuff, so I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, so here's the deal. This is a color code, you know, activate, deactivate kind of puzzle. And so... and I don't need to fight anything because we're pretty strong. So what we need to do is go in here. In this fucking room. Okay, so yeah. We need to do... Son of a bitch. There's no real traps or anything in here other than bad guys. You just have to navigate through here. And there's also should be this thing here. There we go. Now we can see. But yeah, it's not imperative that you turn that on. It just helps you figure out where you're going. Ah, fuck me to tears. It's gonna be this bullshittery. Okay, through the door. And it has been switched to blue. Locked blue, open red, green. Perfect. It's, like I said, it's not a hard... it looks harder than it really is. You know, you just gotta worry about getting through. Now, if you're a completionist trying to get all the monster kills, this is a one-time dungeon, so make sure you fight everything. Just like the towers, I believe. You know, you get one crack at them. And if you didn't fight everything in them, you're kind of up shit's creek without a paddle. If that's your, you know, the direction you want to go. Oh boy, yep. Teleportation rooms. Now these are these are harder than they look significantly. Let's see. And here we go. I want to say it's this one here. Leave. It's not that one. It can't be that one. It's got to be over here. It's got to be this one. And then... Haha! Yes! Security mode has been switched to green. And then open are the red and blue doors. Woo! It's, you know, it's a lot of trial and error. And the only reason that one's not too bad is... Oh, I fucked it up. Now I'm trapped. Oh, now it took me back to the beginning. There we go. I landed on top of the fucking switch. And don't you feel like an idiot? I did. I definitely did. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? So let me try this again. There. To there. And then we went over here, of course. I must have done something wrong, so I'm just trying to figure out what I might have done wrong. Okay. Oh, fuck. Which one was it? Oh, jeez. We'll just do the diagonal one. Ah, yes. Okay. Haha. It's that one with the 3 porters. If you don't know which one to go to from the 3 teleportation things, it's not hard to figure out. Just be patient. It's not hard to figure out. It's it is the southeast one, but even if you go to the wrong ones, you just recycle your way through them again. It's not hard. It really, 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 really isn't. So just as a heads up. All right. So that's all said and done. One thing we're gonna do before we move on is we're gonna go to Lilka. I still can't believe I have that on her. We'll put the Holy Grail on Lilka. And then we'll change this later for sure. And in we go. And obviously, here comes the big throwdown. Hey, cutie pie. It's time for some rape. Vinsfield Radamathis. God, that's just a horrible last name. Indeed, indeed. I'm going to stop you for the Liberation Army you betrayed as well. Aw, are we making you mad, little Vinzi? Little Vinzi doesn't like being teased. And as I have my own personal grudge against you all, how dare you kill my Aunt Tenora? I will never forgive you. Your death will be quick. Oh yeah, we did kill her, didn't we? I kind of liked it too. It made me feel really good. Okay, well, you know, how can you be a leader of something that doesn't have anything left to lead? Well, I guess you could say the Odessa men, but they're a bunch of pushovers. Anyway, this is actually very underwhelming. Of all of the members of Odessa, Vinsfield is like the worst. The only thing he's got going for him is he has one attack that can, and I forget the name of it, but it can cause an instant death. That's literally all he's got going for him. His strongest attack is will hit all allies for like 1,000 damage, whoever you got out there. About. His other attacks are like a really weak version of 40 Hypoblast, which is what Sienna used earlier. It's like a really shitty version of that. We'll save we'll use Shot Weapon for this battle. I know that sounds strange, but we will. Pop a lucky card. And we're good. Yeah, we don't want to spend our good stuff. We want to hold on to the good stuff for later. But yeah, other than an instant death attack, Vince feels like the weakest of all of the Odessa members. And it always vexed me. I always expected this battle to be a lot harder. Like, significantly harder. And we really never get that. So I know I'm ruining some of this for you guys, because it's like, oh my god, it's the big it's the big throwdown with the big, the big bad. And it's like, yeah, I know it's the throwdown with the big bad. It's a shame the big bad is kind of a bitch. Like I said, other than his instant death attack, which could kill 2 of our 3 characters, it's not something I overly worry about. Like, here's his second attack, 40 Hypoblast. Sienna did like 1,200, 1,400 damage to us with it, and he only can do that. Yeah. It's a little weak. Shot weapon. Nova Rain. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty quick battle. Especially if he decides to just use melee attacks, which he does a lot. But once in a while, he'll pull out his AoE insta-gib attack, but the odds of it hitting are usually pretty low. Like, it might get one of 3 characters, but I think only once did it get 2, but I obviously had the Holy Grail on Lilka, so all I had to do was revive him because Vinsfield doesn't hit hard enough to be a threat that Lilka has to heal herself immediately. So that's what's kind of funny about that. Even Tim is like in a good position that I don't really have to heal him, but I will out of habit. And, Dark Star, I don't care anymore. Now, he does have a pretty beefy amount of HP. Hey, I know it's over 20 grand. Easily over 20 grand. Whereas the others hovered more around, like, 15 to 18. So he's got more health, so you gotta deal with him a little bit longer than you deal with the others. But, as you can see, his melee attack does nothing to us at all. It's kind of funny. And now we can all unleash attacks on him this round, so we'll do that. High Vortex. I think that's the only high spell next to High Flame I haven't not used. What have I not used here? I think we used everything except Submerge. Because I just don't think about it. I'm trying to show everything, you know? Oh, you know what I could do? And I just thought about it now, which is kind of sad that I just thought about it now. And we'll probably have a turn. Tim actually has an anti-instant death ability. And I'm glad I remembered, because he hasn't done his attack yet. We'll pop that on now. That's Thanatos X. Which makes me think of Thanos from the Marvel Universe, but I don't know why that came up, but it did. Alright. High heal on Tim. Shot weapon. So Thanatos X protects from sudden death. And it works on all characters? Yeah, it would have been nice to remember that earlier. Ah, well. Too late now. Kerblamo! Up, here it comes. And I don't know if Tim did his thing yet. We'll find out in a minute. Ow. Well, at least we have it up now. That's what's important. It's a very slow skill. Alright, so we're protected from the nastiness that is Incur My Wrath. So even if he hits us with it, he'll do about 1,000 damage. That's the strongest attack, by the way. But, you know, we'll survive it, and if I need to re-put up Thanatos X, I will. Because death protection is so important. You know, always use protection. Always. It goes against my religious beliefs, then your religious beliefs are dumb. Always use protection. AIDS is not fun. Herpes simplex B is not fun. How do you know about it? Well, I know people with it. Some of them are my friends. Does that make them less of a person? No. It does give me something to tease them about, though. I'm sorry you went in balls deep, bro, but you're supposed to wear that little raincoat for a reason, buddy. It's not just for birth protection. It's for your health, sir. Well, I trust the woman I'm with. Well, that's good for you. You know, I'm glad you do. But 98% of all relationships, somebody's lying. Okay, and that's statistically proven. Somebody's lying about their health condition or relationship status, true relationship status. So I want to be in what's it called? I want to be ambiguous. Yeah, you're seeing other people. I got it. Get it. I got it. You don't need to. You know, I'm keeping my options open. Yeah, don't need that bullshit. That's total bullshit. Anyway, killing time. Back to killing time. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more rounds. If you haven't figured it out, there's probably another boss fight coming up, which is why I'm hesitant to waste all of it. Nor do I want to use a bullet clip. But you get them so easily. You have so many. Yeah, and I didn't need it. And that's the point. That's wasting items, nice items, that are very useful and will be very useful later. you know, it's called being wasteful of items. Just to make something a little bit fast go by a little bit faster doesn't mean you should do it. That's called being impatient. My strategies are key. To resist the monsters, everyone's power has to be united as one. That's the best way to take on the menace that will be coming this way. Okay. Huh. Well, there you go. Odessa was really, you know, we thought they were releasing monsters into the world. Wrong. And we crushed to smithereens and we will die. Yep. An aerial fortress this large has to have escape pods. Yeah, we're hoping they have escape pods. Putting a lot of faith into that assumption, aren't you? Aren't you, big guy? Oops, get in the door. There we go. Okay, now, to me, this is probably the trickiest part of the game. Not that it's necessarily hard, it's just that you have to know systematically where to go and what to do. And in all honesty, it's a bit of a process. Luckily, there's no time limit that I recollect. And if there is, you can get it done easily within that limit. And if there was a time limit, that's how easy it was for me to get through it, because I didn't really have to think that hard. So, Ashley's going to stay behind, and the others are going to take these escape pod routes. It's not the actual escape pod, it's the route to the escape pod, which is like a puzzle in and itself. A rotating puzzle, too. Alright, so let's get her done. Alright, so we start as Brad, and ironically you're going to think, hey, I guess it means we should use Brad first. You'd be very, very, very wrong. We'll switch to Lilka first, because she makes it easier. And then... And what up? And this gives us access to go this way. And down, and we should reach our first little panel here. Yay! And then we've unlocked red doors. And at this point, you're just kind of at the mercy. Alright, Tim is up. And we'll take Tim, we'll go down. Cross, simple enough. It's not much of a puzzle, is it? And you might think we want to go this way, but really, let's just keep going. Over here. Need that, I believe. Go through here. And there. And there it is. And back to Lilka. And this is just as dumb back to Tim. And then we'll go back to Lilka. Alright. Where's Lilka? There's Lilka. Ta-da! And then we get there. So that's like a big step of the puzzle right there. The next steps are not too harsh, but again, it's a lot of running around. So we're gonna switch over to cannon this time, and we'll run down. Like I said, this is really the only way to do this. There isn't really a right order. It's usually cannon and Brad for this opening section, then it's Lilka and Tim. but it ends up being the same pattern no matter what you do. I've not really tried doing this another way. This way has always seemed to work. I've tried doing them in different orders, but I get very different results each time. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is really the way you're supposed to do most of this, so... Ta-da! Now we gotta run that. There we go. And let's head this way, and then we'll go this way. And this obviously is gonna finish that little shtick. Alright, let's switch to Tim. Oops, not Loka. I switched to Loka. Whoa, save. And we need Puka, I believe. Yeah, because we gotta get that thing over there. Nice. Let's see. I guess the only person we haven't moved yet is Brad, so let's get him going. And that'll, as you can see, unlocks the blue door. This is pretty simple. As you can see, ta-da! Again, more trivial. You know, that's like, I don't even know why. It's just there to get in the way at that point. You know, I don't even know how to describe that beyond that, really. Oh, shit. Okay, so from here, we need to do the following. Okay, that does that. Okay. And, well, the only way to... Oh, that's right. Wait, is he next? Would he... Yeah, it's the only way to push that block. So, with Tim... I'm not sure which way to go. Well, it has to be the blue door. It's, you know, it's the only door we haven't been able to go through to them. Okay, yeah, and then what we need to do is this silliness. Back to Brad. Back to Tim. There we go. Woo! Now, as you can see, we can't obviously reach that, so we need to switch to somebody. Okay, really it's Cannon that you gotta do next, so we'll do Cannon. And we'll go up through this door we had no access to earlier. We gotta make our way... In a sense, you gotta just pull this a little bit over. What makes this tricky is you gotta jump off and come around. Which really isn't tricky. You're gonna get on this, and you're gonna obviously do the following, and look at that. Looky there! Not so bad, and obviously, as you can see, we're gonna be using Tim to get that little switcheroony, because obviously that door, the green doors are not activated right, are not working right now, so... Duh. Switch over. Alright, and Tim is out of here. This is the escape pod. Woo! Yeah, hold your heart strong. That's right. Despair destroys all hope, and that negates any possibilities for the future. You're not weak. Your persistent strength will reach the future. Yay for him. Alright. Okay, so Tim is out of here. And pretty much it's just getting everybody else out. We've pretty much finished everything. As you can see, Brad's going to make it to his. At this point, it doesn't really matter who goes next, because everybody's getting out at this point. We've got to survive. Survive the wrath. I can operate this game. We still have much left to do. And what's funny is that everybody should be pretty much where they need to be. That's what's neat. And the reason I like finishing it this way, like we could have moved Lilica a long time ago to her exit, but I like doing it all at the end so you can see all the little scenes all together. It just makes more sense to me. So, there we go. And she's out of here. She actually had the easiest route, but then again, we also did the most stuff with her first. Alright, and then Cannon's all that's left, and Cannon's little exit is right next to all of it. Like the others, it's pretty much, they're standing right in front of it. They just gotta move their ass. Alright. Yep. Well, we could have just mooned you, and that would have equally been just as entertaining, at least to me. Alright, and Cannon. Hers was relatively short, except for this part, but eh. Kind of looks like she's standing on the rail, like with one foot. We're not falling, it's just the opposite of that. You're failing! It's the voice of your art, the empathize, and the communicator led me here. And in turn, that is going to be everybody except Ashley, right? Right? Let's do it. We have to hurry, or else. Or else what? Of course. It wouldn't be an awesome boss fight without the one-on-one showdown, right? Your ideals. Why do you persist in living? Because living is fun. To bring back the daily life we all once enjoyed. Just for that? Yup! So we know Ashley's 19 years old. And the big showdown. Luckily, Vinsfield's become even bit more of a bitch. He doesn't use his instant death attack that I recollect or recall. He can heal himself, which kind of warrants you wanting to aim for turning into Night Blazer. But other than that, if you get to about 1200 HP, go ahead and pop a big berry. Go ahead and pop a lucky card while you're at it too. You may as well. You'll get 20 grand worth of XP, and it all goes to Ashley, which might bring him closer to Tim's level. I usually like Ashley being my highest level character, and it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Alright, we'll hit him with some bolt action. That's why we were saving it. He's got about half the health he had in the first boss fight, so that runs him. If he had 14 or 2500, he's got about 1250, I think, which is easily something Ashley can take down. So, and we've got so much health, I'm not too concerned about it. And once we deplete our bolt action, just pop a berry, a heal berry if need be, and then just defend until you get 100 FP, or melee attack if you want to speed up the process. Because Night Blazer is going to be the big necessary slayer here, because if he starts healing himself a lot, you can't really keep up with that, because you're just going to run out of ammunition. And sometimes you miss, which equally blows. And no, I don't. You know what? We'll find out if that gets rid of our lucky card effect. I don't think that it does. Oh my god, Ashley, you missed twice in a row? Useless. Fuck it, may as well just go ahead and power down that FP then. Yeah, we'll just fucking power down the FP. Kerblamo! Now, what would have made Vinsfield a much more formidable foe would have been if he actually did his ultimate Instagib attack. Because then, without a Holy Grail, you could lose at any moment. And you just kind of got your fingers and toes crossed. Now, that would have been a little broken, too. Because unless you played the game, you wouldn't know that. But then again, you fought him earlier, so you should have thought that through. In theory, right? But it makes sense, too, not to have it. Because it would just make a simple, exposition battle. Which is really what this is. It's just a final you kicking his ass battle. Kind of make it pointless, Is it me, or does Nightblazer have like nipple horns? It's just what it looks like to me, anyway. Don't even worry about using Hot Fencer, because we're gonna finish him off with our favorite skill if he's still alive to do it. And actually, what we could even just do is sit and defend, because I haven't shown this skill, so I'd rather take the moments to do that than to just kill Vinsfield outright. And that's right. Build up that delicious FP. This might sting a little. Okay. 54. $64. I like how he wastes turns with that. Like, Ashley doesn't necessarily have the means to buff himself or give him stuff status boosts, so it almost seemed like that was the mix-up. Because I don't see him having any positive stats because he shouldn't. Alright, it's high enough, so let's go ahead and hit him with Banisher, which is currently Ashley's strongest Nightblazer skill. And it also forcibly turns you back into Ashley, normal Ashley, which isn't a big deal because our FP is already pretty high, so it's not like we just can't turn back. But at this point, we should just take him out. Bolt action. But yeah, it gives you an idea. It does about 5 grand. Oh my god, he missed again. What the hell? That's just annoying. Okay, so we'll have to turn him back into Nightblazer and finish him off via Hot Fencer style, which is fine. But that's kind of the trick, is if you build up FP as Nightblazer and you finish him off with and use Banisher in a sense, when you go to use Banisher, you don't feel so bad because you actually retain the last amounts of FP that you had built up. So if you built up 100 FP, you could just turn into Nightblazer again, or if you're even close, one attack, you're Nightblazer again. It's quite nice, actually, that they set it up that way. It makes dealing with, a lot of this stuff a lot easier. Alright, one melee attack, that'll knock that life returner back down to a little bit. And we'll just hit him with Hot Fencer. So you got to see Banisher for what it's worth. Yeah, it's not as impressive as you thought, huh? It's actually pretty impressive. Nobody else is doing 5 grand of damage yet, so I guess it's not impressive to me because I know what's coming up later, so And there we go, 20 grand of XP, so it does not remove lucky card effects. That's a good question. To an end with my end. The party must end. What a sore loser. Why are all these bad guys just sore losers? They're supposed to be big, bad, and, like, badasses, and then they do some chicken shit bull crap like this. What a pussy. What a bitch. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people like Vinsfield. I think he's kind of a bitch compared to some of the other villains in the Wild Arms franchise. For this exact reason. Siegfried had more honor than this. More personality than Vinsfield. I mean, that, and again, this is the reason why Wild Arms 2, though a lot of fun to play, has some issues with its development. So, it's a great game, though. But that part of the game with Odessa, as fun as it is, because you're going against this terrorist group, it just seems like they could have done more with them, and I wish they did. They could have made Judecca much more violent and disturbing. They could have made Ptolemy's strength a bigger show-off. Same with Sienna and Antenora. They could have just... I always felt they could have done more. And Vinsfield, he's like, you're building all the way up to this moment, and both times you fight him, he's a total bitch. Alright. And in turn, whoa! Or will it? What's gonna happen? Empathite, please tell Marina I'm sorry. I won't be able to keep my promise. You lying bitch! You whore of a human being! How could you lie to her? How? When you wish inside a bar, all you get is cocktail hour. Drinks are free for the next 10 minutes, but the lap dances are never free. Okay, well, I'm sure the star can handle a wish like that. Starlight, star bright, the first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might get 30 hookers in my bedroom tonight. Come on! Gotta have goals. At least my goals are admirable. They're working women. They need to make ends meet too. Is there one person who breaks their promise? Because promises were meant to be broken. In turn, that's why promises exist. But are they truly broken? Because deep in the bowels of space and time. I'm not going to say much more. Why say more when the game's going to pretty much lay it out for you? So enjoy this scene that a lot of people never get to see. Because they accidentally hit the X button and plow right through it. Which is the intro leading into this. Not the intro leading into this, too. This is the outro of the first disc. So it looks like these are the remnants of Hemdel Gazo maybe falling back to Earth. It looks like we're backing away from Earth, so whatever. In space, nobody can hear you wet yourself. In Texas, in space! John Wayne in space, there you go. And the falling debris going back into Earth's atmosphere destroyed 32 towns and drained one ocean of all of its water. And what is this? And there's our hero in the vacuum of space. And he is inside a ball, so what does this mean? Well, you'll have to find out. I ain't telling. Alright, so save. You definitely want to save. Because for those of you who don't remember, Wild Arms 2 is actually 2 discs long. Save. And it appears that we are in Felgaia's subspace. Ooh, ooh. We'll do it again just to be on the safe side. Alright. And on the next episode of Let's Play Wild Arms 2 Second Ignition, where do we go from there? Vinsfield is destroying the world with his nuke. And Ashley is, to infinity and beyond. So we need to figure out how this is going to play out. And the only way you're going to figure it out is if you are there to see it. We'll see you on the next episode.